Okay, y'all, sorry because I'm taking so long to do everything. That just went right out recording, but I'm going to finish because we looked at this new way to do perfect skin, flawless skin technique, which I went ahead and did. I don't know if I think it looks flawless, but anyway, we'll see how it wears throughout the day. But then I started to show you my favorite brushes. So it cut out on doing highlighter, and I'm using the Sigma Beauty palette. And this is the Sculpt palette, and I'm using for under eye. Now, some people just use this for face highlighter, which you can. I like to actually use, this is a E55 Sigma brush, and I use it for under my brow. And I have just right under my brow. You could do this first and then use this color in the transition area, the Faking It color, which this is my favorite color. And you can use it to bronze, to contour, to everything. But I do use the Throw Shade for bronzing, really. And both of those are matte. So now I'm using a highlighter, which is Slight Shimmer. And I'm just mainly going under the brow and then on these edges. Why do I do these edges? Because it brightens the edge of the eye. And then I kind of bring it here. And again, what you're doing is making sure that when you blend that, it won't be such a line. Now I use it again on the inner corner to really wake up the inner corner, and then go over the lid. Kind of blend it upward. And look how that just wakes up the eye to have that light color there. Okay. And then straight across for the lid. And then up a little and blend it from up to down. Okay, and then if you can just do with this, like I said, I use the E50 with the Faking It color, and really usually I do that after. So let me just go back in and kind of blend that back a little bit. Love that color. For those of you who like to use a pencil brush underneath, I don't really necessarily do that, but I'll show you. The pencil brush is the E30, and you can use that same color again below the lashes. Not through them like I'm fixing to do to line them, but just right below. And that just kind of smokes out the look. Do you see the difference in this eye and this eye? Just slight smokes it out right under. There. Okay, so that's the pencil brush E30. Again, you don't have to have that one. That's not one of my ride or dies, but if you're going to have a pencil brush, there is no better. This is another ride or die. I forgot what ride or die means, so maybe I shouldn't say that. Absolute. This is an absolute one. It's an E45, and it's a small tapered blending brush. And what I like about it, you roll it when you put it in here, so that as it goes in the crease, I use this as a crease brush. As you do that, the point of it, of course, when you first put it down, that's where the most color is, and then you just literally look up a little bit, and it just grabs the brush, the crease in your eye grabs the brush, and all it is kind of darkening. This color is well matched to the other colors in the palette. Go out and come in. You're just kind of making a little bit of tail out there. And it just kind of gives a little more definition. So you might want to do this in the evening. I wear it during the day, especially if you have a hood. It kind of helps it not be so noticeable, especially right there, to have a little bit darker color. So it's just a little trick as you get your skin drops. Again, I love this big old mirror. Again, back and forth, back and forth. It moves if I look up, the skin just grabs the brush and it just pulls the makeup off. And then I don't know if you see that, I'm kind of rolling this to get, what's left off, and kind of go out in and then bat through that crease to just kind of have a little darker on the outer side and then in the crease. So then my next brush that I cannot live without, absolutely love it, is the E20. And it's a smudger brush, but if you turn this brush sideways, like you can smudge that way, but if you turn it sideways, look how thin that is, but it's very densely packed. So you can use this as a liner, and that's what I do. Sometimes I wet it, sometimes I don't. I'm not going to. I'm going back to this. Sorry, tried to turn that around and just made a mess on my finger and whacked myself in the face. But anyway, I'm going to this color right here that is the darkest color. And I'm just going to kind of almost tap it off. And don't go under the lashes, go through them with this smudger. See how you've already got that kind of, the faking it color that's a little bit lighter shade than this. This is actually going to line the eye because I'm going through the lashes. It just makes the lashes darker. So what is it doing? It's just filling in those little spots that are little naked skin spots. And it makes it a little bit more of a lined looking eye. Now, the other thing I do after I do that is run this through the brow. And it just reinforces the brow hair. It is darker, so I'm kind of careful with how I place the color. And sometimes I have to adjust. And then I come in the front and just kind of fill in those. It's just straight up and down. And all it's really doing is it's just a little bit of color going to hit the skin so that it's not so obvious like a crayon would be. But it's a nice filler. And I always start off with reinforcing the undercarriage. And then, yeah, I like it. So now let's do this side. Straight through the lashes, not under, through them. You're almost in the eye. I mean, you're almost on the waterline. And all this is doing is just filling in any little naked places, any little places that have white showing through. And then I come up here and just use whatever's left over to kind of fill in again, fill in the skin a little bit so it's not as noticeable. Now that, I'm going to have to actually add more because I just boo-booed. And it's, if it's too dark, then I'll show you one of the ways that you can also just round it back out. And then again, look at both brows and try to even them up. This one's lower on me, so I always have to go a little higher. And so I come down here a little lower to kind of even it out. And then just do it straight up and down. Instead of being this way, turn it this way and go straight up and down. Just kind of fill in. Again, you're just kind of getting where it's kind of neckety looking, where your sparse hairs, it kind of fills in the base a little so it doesn't look so thinned out. And then give it a little bit more of a tail. Now let's just say it's too much. Okay? Then one of the best things you can do is get a spoolie brush, you know, like a mascara one that has no mascara on it. Spoolie brush. Where is mine? Don't tell me I don't have one in here. Did I take it into the other room? Okay, and you brush through them. Where is mine? I've got too many brushes again, y'all. Because now I can't find them. There's too many. I think I actually did take it in there because the end of it came off. Anyway, you would just brush through them. You know what you can do? You can just use your fingernails like a comb like this. And then wipe them off. It's just a way to kind of destroy the line, and it makes it not look so dark. Okay? So then, the last but not least is I use a, what am I trying to say? A clean blended, just nothing on it, blending brush. And I clean the edges like that. Just straight up and down, get rid of lines. That line right there between the highlighter and the transition, and then this edge. And that now is blending back in to that lighter color that you also laid down there to kind of, as you blend this out, remember the highlighter I put back there? It's kind of blending this dark color into that so that it's not such an edge. And that kind of tones down the color too. I'm not going to overdo that. And then always wipe off that same brush again. So again, one other one that I would say is, and that is a E35 taper blending brush as well. The large shader, or I used to call it the flat shader, but large shader E60. This is the E35. This is the E60 that's flat. This is really good for packing on like a shimmer on your lid. Let's just say I really wanted to pack on this highlighter with some pink. And it just really helps. I usually do that right in the middle. And see how it's just so flat? And then you can blend it towards and then up and out. It's a really good one for packing on color, and especially shimmer. So if you do that a lot, I would say this is another necessity brush. I don't do that so often, but I do it enough that I would say it's part of my collection that I would have to have. So there's that. So the E60 large shader, the E35 tapered blending brush. There's another one. I have 2 of those. If you feel you need it, the pencil brush, that is an E30. I do like having that. So I'll say that's part of it. The E55 shader for when you put eyeliner under the brow. The E50 large fluffy, that's for doing transition color, whether it would be a gray, a taupe, or whatever your transition color is. Could be a color as well. The E45 small tapered blending brush, and this one says it's tapered, but this right here for blending, but this is much more tapered, more pointed, and I think that's good for the crease. Absolute necessity. Absolute necessity is the E20 short shader, or some people call that a smudger brush. This one's really old and it is still in great shape. I do wash my brushes once a week, and then, as y'all know, as I am doing my makeup, I dust them off on this makeup cloth. And it's just a black wash rag, really. But, you know, just to kind of get any excess, I always just kind of go around in a little circle and knock everything off. And then at the end of the week, now some people, you know, especially if they have acne and have a bacterial problem, they wash their brushes every night, or maybe they have 1 or 2 sets that they use until they have time to wash them at the end of the week. So there's those. And then face-wise, absolutely the large angled contour brush for blush and bronzer is how I use it, but you can get separate ones if you want. I did not put blush back on, so I didn't show y'all. This is Chanel's 02 Rose Bronzer, and since I use the butt end of the brush, the short end, which is a little more compact for doing the contour, I use the loose end, or the longer end, and I come right above that, and that's where I dust out the pink, and then I just roll it in a circle and smile. And I also like to put it right on the nose bone right there, because I have a very prominent nose, and again, that color kind of makes it less prominent. And then I come in front of where I bronze.